So stream we were asked, well, rather donated to make a video topic. So today we're going to be talking about cards that you can use against Megalith because we're expecting this deck to somehow survive post Block Dragon getting banned. But cards, things, focusing on the weak point of the deck, because I'm sure a lot of you that have looked at these replays, you will notice a couple of weak points in the deck where Ash or Imperm will just ruin that deck today. So let's dig on into this, shall we? Alright, so things that you can do to kind of weaken Megalith. And 95% of counterplay, well, first up, you need to understand Megalith's best board is going to jam you out of playing the game during, your turn. Typically, Magician of Black Chaos is going to fully resolve, stopping you from doing an effects for as they tribute. And they have the King Calamity, the big level 12 synchro, that says you can't play the game. Also, your opponent can't activate cards or effects in response to this. So basically, they turn the Needle Fiber into the formula with the Diviner, and then tune them together with the Ugly Dragon, and, well, the Borland Savage, and make even uglier dragon. So they have two means to kind of step on into these things here. So that's the first basic thing I want to say. So if you're planning to have something with this to stop during your turn, Sphere Mode's probably going to be about it, but this deck's current recovery is really absurd. Okay, I just want to say that. Now you're probably like, well, that doesn't bode well. Like, if I can't play the game on my turn, how are we supposed to stop this? Okay, so weak point one, all right, is the Gallant Granite play. All right, typically when they're resolving a Gallant Granite to get the Black Dragon, the Black Dragon is going to be the thing that is going to allow the extenders to roll on it. All right, the big Calamity play is usually based around Black Dragon. All right, so we use, if you've looked at a couple of Lund's duels on here, you will typically notice he starts getting low in resources about the time that we go to get the Gallant Granite. Now, obviously, he can still play without the big rock boy. Like, you still can do combos and things like that. And I think that that's one big thing. Players, they get impatient and they start seeing Megalith resolving. They're like, oh, I gotta stop it. No. The Block Dragon is the biggest extender. It's probably going to be one of your major choking points out for that deck, okay? Holding the Nibiru. Alright, so this is a hot take here. Typically, when the Gallant Granite comes down, you try to hit the Gallant Granite once again. Alright, Gallant Granite for the ability to, well, punish the opponent. No Block Dragon for you. Now, unfortunately, the deck can still recover from beyond that. Alright, stopping a Gallant Granite is the biggest thing. Now, Lund has told me, and I've seen it, that they don't need Gallant Granite to go. But typically when you got 3,000 searchers to do things, getting the biggest extending piece of it all to stun the opponent's biggest board is the thing. Now, we had a giant conversation going on in the last match. So, opponent Dark Ruler knows no mores, the opponent, alright? Half my comment section doesn't realize that on the resolution of the Dark Ruler No More, you can attempt to activate monster effects from the hand or from the graveyard. Dark Ruler No More slaps through and blankets the current field. And this is going to be the issue you're going to see with Dragma here post-August. You can Dark Ruler No More, Dragma all you want, okay? They'll still make the window on your turn. So if you Dark Ruler No More for the Macabre, and then they let you play a little bit, and then they activate the trap that summons the window, we still got a problem here. Alright, the window that you just made is not affected by Dark Ruler No More here. We're actually going into a point now where Dark Ruler No More is not as good as we had initially thought here. So, back to Megalith things here. Alright, So they have this card that lets you ritual summon from your hand during the opponent's turn. So on the resolution of the Dark Ruler No More, so Dark Ruler No More has done its thing. We're going to shoot the effect from our hand to ritual summon. All right, no problem, right? We resolved the Magician of Black Chaos. Half the comments section, for some reason, thought he chained it on to the Dark Ruler No More, and that wasn't how it was. All right, so you have to understand, even if you Dark Ruler No More this deck, they'll just pop off Ritual Summon immediately after the resolution of the effect, and just Magician of Black Chaos you. You can't play the game. The Dark Ruler No More basically says they won't King Calamity you, but they still got the ugly Magician play in their hand. So, not only, that's the interesting thing about this. Cheers, by the way, to having dual win cons. You know, we're all talking about Utopic Zexal over here, and things being overpowered, denying the opponent the chance to play the game. But you're over here like, oh, you stopped one of them. Let me ritual summon out the Magician of Black Chaos and jam you out of monster effects for the turn. Seems fair, right? In the grand scheme of things. So the biggest consideration for things that we need to look at for this deck is going second, Ash, Imperm, holding for the Gallant extenders. Your opponent will probably still be able to make a field, but it's essentially an FTK. All right, now going second. All right, there's a lot more we can do here. All right, so we can stop our opponent from playing by putting up 301 negates, as is the format. Conquistadors, if we're playing Eldritch, all the cool synchro plays. We can make the True Calamity ourselves to punish our opponent. All right, that's pretty good. Or we can go with more civilized tactics. We can Unga Bunga our opponent with a little card that we like to call Dimensional Barrier. All right. You guys remember what Deep Barrier does, right? In a ritual-based strategy, stopping our opponent from ritual summoning is the utmost of the basic strategies that we have available to us. But, is it enough? Well, you've got the classic, you got dimensional, you got macrocosmo, you got defissure. You can seal off your opponent's graveyard so they can't feed off of it. That's a little bit more of an extremity. All right, like we're like trying to be here. For some reason, we're all the way over to the moon right now. Hashtag vintage values, by the way. Over here trying to stop this wildly. So, simple barrier statue could stop it. I mean, if they have to waste a battle phase to get over something, you have to understand that a basic card like Fossil Dino, a simple body that denies effects, you know, an inspector border, simple things like this also stunt the advancement of this basically when you're going first. But that's kind of the tale. Like, going first is probably the best way to beat this deck. Going second, you've got to look at your hand trap pool. You need to make some decisions as to what to hit where. Like I said, Ash Imperm, literally going to be the best things that you have for this situation. Outside of that, I don't have a good answer for you. All right, those are your generically well-rounded cards for your matchups. You got D-Barriers if you're worried. Outside of that, you know, if you're trying to play D-Barrier, your opponent's is going to King Calamity you, or literally roll on out the other cool, crazy stuff that this deck can do. You know, we don't get Fool until Rise of the Duelist, but for, you know, Zodiac Tournament's sake, the whole universal card pool is legal. So you are literally witnessing this deck at its August potential here. And, you know, somebody commented and said, you know, I miss when this deck was a meme. You know, how dare you, Robbie? How dare you expose what Megalith are capable of? Ugh. No, I can't pick up my core for cheap. Yes, you can. The whole deck is rares and commons, all right? The Magician of Black Chaos is the most expensive thing that you're going to have to deal with, all right? But outside of that, some interesting advice for the Megalith duelist out there. So guys, please, leave a comment down there. Tell me what you guys think. What do you see as the weak points here? kind of build on into what I've said. I'm kind of curious to see what the player base thinks about this rock strategy as well. And, well, that's all I got for this video, guys. I guess I'm out. Peace. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you were looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.